What's up everyone? So today I have a 12-inch MacBook, the 2015 model, base model in space gray, and I bought this on eBay for $635, so quite a big price drop. And I got this right after the release of MacBook Airs, so let's take a look. Alright, so you can see here I have the box, and I'm just going to go ahead and rip the tape open here with the scissors. And actually, I got so excited I ended up hitting myself with the scissors and getting a pretty bad cut. So you can take a look at that real quick. It was pretty painful, but I'm going to put a band-aid on that, and that's what I'm going to have on for the rest of the video. So if you're wondering about that, yeah, I guess I just couldn't contain my excitement. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish opening this box that it came in. Like I said, I did buy it off eBay for $635, which I thought was a pretty good deal. It is used, but it is supposed to be in pretty good shape, so we'll go ahead and see what that looks like. Alright, so we'll go ahead and open the box here. Has some nice foam packaging at the top to make sure the laptop is protected. And you can see here we have the USB-C cable. So it's not in the box. I guess the seller took it out, and it's pretty long, and it does seem to be in pretty good condition though. So USB-C, it was something they introduced on the 12-inch MacBooks in 2015, so that's great to finally have on a computer. And then if we put that aside for a second, we can also see that he sent an extension cable too. So I don't believe the 12-inch MacBooks originally come with this cable, but he seemed to have included it as well, because there actually isn't a spot for it in the box that I could see. So I guess that's an added bonus. Thank you. And then let's go ahead and pull out the MacBook box itself. So you can see it does come with the original box, and it is the original accessories too. And so that was a really nice bonus, and I really wanted that when I was buying my MacBook. Even though it's used, I wanted it to have the original accessories, the literature, the Apple stickers. And you can see on the back here, it says MacBook 12-inch in space gray, designed by Apple in California. And just to give you a quick look at the specs, it is the 12-inch MacBook. So these do have Retina displays, even though they're from 2015. So that's amazing, right? And 12-inch, 1.1 gigahertz, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of flash storage, USB Type-C port, Intel HD graphics 5300, and a headphone jack. So only 2 ports you're getting on here. It's a headphone jack and that single USB-C port. I've never had a computer with only 1 port before, so we'll see how that works out. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this and start taking the laptop out of the box. So the box is a really small but pretty hefty box, and you can see here that the laptop is actually still packaged in it looks like the original plastic at least. So let's go ahead and rip that off as we take the laptop out. So just pull that out there. You can take a look at that. So plastic is a little wrinkly, but at least it's still there. So that is pretty satisfying to hear, I can tell you that much, which is really nice that we still got to experience that, even though it is a used product. Now, this is used like new, I think, like I've said, so it is not going to have any scuffs or any problems with the screen or anything like that. But if you do take a closer look here, you can see there are a little bit of, it looks like dirt marks, just from touching it on the front near the Apple logo. So you can see a little bit of discoloration, which I think is normal if you handle any device. And even on the back panel, you can see just a little bit of where maybe there were fingerprints and stuff like that. So I can't be too picky about that. That's going to be normal, and that can be easily cleaned with isopropyl alcohol. So let's go ahead and open up the screen so you can see just what a thin screen it has, and the keyboard is really nice. It has the butterfly key switches, so that is going to take a little bit getting used to. Now for me, I've actually used them before and I don't have a big problem with them, so that should be fine. And you can see I am scraping some of the debris off of the keyboard because this isn't the 2nd generation butterfly keyboard. So this is the 1st generation one without the silicone membrane in the keyboard, meaning that if debris does get stuck underneath the key will start to stick, and that can be a little bit problematic. So I want to make sure there isn't going to be any debris getting under that, and it's kind of silly that the 1st generation didn't have that. Now we can go ahead and look at the literature packet. So this is going to have all the, usual how-to guide, getting started, and hopefully we can take a glimpse of my very first Space Gray sticker. So we can take a look here at the packet, and there they are. Yes, so it does actually have the original Space Gray Apple stickers, which is awesome. I think that's just fun to have. It's my first Space Gray Mac, so I think that's really cool. So we can go ahead and put that aside for now, and also want to show you the charging brick, right? So this is the adapter where you're going to plug your USB-C cable into, and as you can probably note here, there actually is no Apple logo. So I think in 2015 Apple stopped putting them on the MacBooks. They stopped putting their Apple logo on the chargers. I'm pretty sure this is authentic too, so I don't think this is fake. And you can see there is a little bit of a blemish on this side, a few scratches here and there, but it's a charger. It's going to have some wear and tear, especially if it's 3 years old already. And you can take a look at that. So it is pretty small, but it does have a nice form factor, and that's the only place where you'll see the Apple logo is right there. It's a 30-watt charger, so it should work pretty good. It does have a place where you can plug in the extension still, so you can remove the little prongs and put in for international traveling or for extending your cable if you need to do that as well. So it's still basically the same as the other MagSafe chargers, except it's USB-C, not MagSafe. And you can see here USB-C is reversible, so you can just plug it in either way and it fits just fine. So we can go ahead and put all that aside and get to the main product itself. So you can actually listen that this is the Force Touch trackpad. So I know this is not new technology anymore, but it was one of the first times it was on a MacBook. So it's just going to give you haptic feedback. It's not going to give any clicky noise. And then we have the one USB-C port on the left here. You can see the wedge-shaped design, pretty thin profile. I think it's the thinnest Mac right now, even with a new MacBook Air. And then you saw the headphone jack on the other side. So that's it. Here we have the headphone jack with the microphone there too. If you really do need ports, you can either get an adapter, which I actually have ordered just in case, or you're probably going to look at a different laptop, right? Because these days ports are not plentiful on the Macs. So that is what we have here. And there's just a profile glance at the Mac itself. So we can go ahead and open this up and try to start it here. So just getting it started, you can see that I'm just going to select the United States as my country, and then we can move on to select English as my keyboard and English as my language. Then let's go ahead and connect to Wi-Fi. But while we're actually connecting to Wi-Fi, I did want to go ahead and actually give you a comparison of the 15-inch MacBook Pro from 2015 actually, which I'm rocking right now, and the 12-inch MacBook from 2015. So both of these devices are 2015. They both have the Force Touch trackpad, and you can just see the size difference between the two, right? The 15-inch is much, much larger than the 12-inch, and it's much thicker as well, and heavier. So the 12-inch is a very portable, light, compact device that's really fun to use, and it's pretty nice to hold in your hands as well. So I'm going to set it up as a new Mac and sign into my Apple ID. I'll agree to these terms and conditions. That really shouldn't be an issue. Then we can go ahead and see that it is setting up my iCloud. And I am going to go ahead and do the Express setup so I don't have to worry too much about all the minuscule details and settings. Then I will keep all my files in iCloud, so that means I can use my desktop and have that saved across iCloud as well. And here's File Vault Disk Encryption. So basically it wants to encrypt all your passwords and stuff in iCloud, and I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't really need them to save my passwords for me. I have a pretty good memory when it comes to that, so that should be perfectly fine. Then here in Mojave, so this does have Mojave installed right out of the box thanks to the seller, and you can choose from a light mode or a dark mode, and I definitely prefer the light mode to the dark mode. The dark mode is a little bit too dark for me, so we can go ahead and select that and let that finish up and have the Mac get set up. So the reason I bought the MacBook from 2015 and I bought the 12-inch one is because with Apple's release of the new 13-inch MacBook Airs, I figured that the older MacBooks would go down in price. And personally, after actually looking at the new MacBook Airs, I really felt like the 12-inch form factor is a lot more comfortable to use, and it's going to be more portable if you're using it as a secondary device. Now, granted, if you want to get a new primary machine, I definitely think the new 13-inch MacBook Air is much better suited for most people if they're using it as their new laptop and kind of as their daily driver. But for people who really just need a supplement or just want to take a laptop on the go when they already have a really powerful desktop or another powerful laptop, then I really think buying an older version of the 12-inch MacBook is a great choice. It really will provide you the portability and the ease of access that you'll need wherever you're going if you just need to do some quick things on the go. So this is something that I've been using to, use for classes, to check my email. I do a lot of email web browsing, and I have to watch a lot of lecture videos as well. And when I'm on the go and I'm going to class and I need to access my online textbooks, I really don't need something so powerful like my 15-inch MacBook Pro. But then once I'm back in my room and I'm back home and I really need to actually get some intensive work done, which includes a little bit of graphic design and some other, video editing and stuff like that, then something like the 15-inch MacBook Pro is definitely a lot better suited for that type of work and is a lot quicker to use. And let's just take a quick look at some of the accessories I bought. So here is the dongle that I used, and you can see here that it's pretty small and it has a few ports. Now the one thing it doesn't have is another USB-C port in it, which is kind of strange, but I won't probably be using the dongle that often anyway. And I'm going to be putting it in this case. So this case is really cool. It actually has protected corners because I do know that the corners of the MacBook Airs and the MacBooks do have a tendency to bend really easily. So I think having protected corners in your case is a really cool option just to add that extra protection. But that about wraps it up, guys. I hope this was interesting and it gives you a little bit more of an idea of some of the possible options that you can do. So I know that the 13-inch MacBook Air is the newest device from Apple right now, but just keep in mind that there are always other options that may suit you a little bit better if you want to save a little bit of money, especially during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.